anything about it.
Yeah, that's all. Producing, yes.
I hate puppies. Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. Just
Crushing it.
absolutely humped the intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and helping you figure out what it is you should be drinking this week or rightfully avoiding.
Glad you're humping something.
Yeah, look at you, Troy.
Yeah.
Right, coming in hot.
Coming with the jokes.
Coming in hot. I'm glad to have that. Very exciting stuff. We got a special guest here tonight. We got Mike Jackson from M4K. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for having me out.
Yes, man. Of course. You called. We said, yeah. That's kind of how that works.
We should have called.
We should have called, but that would involve forward thinking.
I've been so busy, I have not even thought ahead.
No, it's been
Yeah.
it's been a nightmare the last few weeks.
But October is almost over. Like, holy shit.
No, he hit us up and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, I would love to get one in before November, and I was like, I guess tomorrow.
You guys should try planning a growing season.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
Yeah, that's true. For anybody who hasn't been listening the last 4 years we've been doing this, this will
Yeah.
be our 5th year, I guess.
Or third. I think this might be. Yeah, this will be our fourth.
Well, remember,
this will be our fourth year.
There was the Ely year, and then there were the
yeah,
other years.
this will be the fourth year I've grown.
Yeah,
and
but
you've
we
grown.
had an Ely year.
We had the Ely was the face. Remember Ely?
I don't.
Yeah.
It's like a vague memory.
New phone. Who dis?
Yeah, exactly. I think he'll be growing this year, though.
Oh, really?
That's the word on the street.
One would never know. You'd have to see him.
We'll just show up at the stash bash.
Just have a,
Hey, here he is.
he'll have a 6-month mustache. He's been growing. We haven't seen him all summer.
But for those who haven't been listening for the last 5 years, every November we get involved in something called M4K, and I won't bury the lead. I'll let Mike talk about it because Are you the president this year?
El Presidente, this is my last official duty,
You
I
thought.
think. Check presentation will be my last official duty, I suppose. But yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with check presentation.
We're going to
Sure.
change it from Presidente to Dictator and just let you keep rolling.
Yeah, please, God.
Yeah, I don't.
And we have the abacus here,
We do.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on, buddy?
Hey.
How much? How are you?
Chilling, man.
and he's heavily involved with M4K.
Yeah, but not anymore. We're bringing him down.
Well, he's not. They took him out of the bookkeeping, for obvious reasons.
But now he's gonna be one of
Yeah,
us.
he's
this
on our
year.
team.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Joining the degenerates.
That's right.
That's about right. So for those that don't know, we're going to talk a little bit about M4K because it is that time of year. It's the time of year that if you decide you want to grow, now's a good time to contemplate that, time to think about that. There's a lot of reasons you should, and that's what I think we're going to cover. So, Mike, I'm glad you were able to come in and at least help get me motivated and thinking about it because, I kind of block it out that I have to grow a mustache. I get excited about raising money for the kids, but the thought of, growing yet another mustache, that can be intimidating. But,
Yeah, the folks have done it for a while. It's a lot of excitement. And once you're in the month, I think all the things that go into it kind of get you excited about it. But everybody does have a nice sort of eye roll moment there, like,
Yeah.
oh no, I've got to do that again. So
Hang out, dressing kids for Halloween and stuff, and then it's like it's just coming right around the corner.
right. So there's definitely a big part of that, but that's sort of it's like no pain, no gain. Like you know you're doing it right. Like if it hurts, you're doing it right.
Does
You
it
gotta
bo-
have some skin in the game, right? Like if
Sure,
it was all fun
You
and
gotta put your
games,
own
like
capital
you're not
in.
gonna get all the donations. The point is, we are gonna look ridiculous, but the trade-off is we'll raise a bunch of money.
What are we going to do in 5 years, though, when the mustache is fully normalized? Because it's coming. It's coming
Yeah,
back.
it is.
We got a plan B. Don't worry, we're all set.
Nice.
Because we can't even do, like,
Clean shave
mullets,
November.
mullets for kids because, like, the mullet's
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
back, too. Like,
Yeah.
it's all falling apart out there.
I'm out.
Rat
If we do
tails for
mullets, I'm out.
kids.
Oh, dude. All right, would you grow a mullet for kids?
I would grow a mullet. It just would take forever.
But you would do it.
Speaking of mullets, my oldest son, we watched Iron Eagle the other night, and he
Again?
Class.
Yeah,
again.
Well, I usually watch it by myself, we watched the opening
Did
race
he drink a
down the
dozen
Snake.
beers
of
with
course.
you?
That's the only way to watch it. And he wants Doug Masters' haircut. Like, he thinks that's the best looking haircut he's ever seen.
He's not wrong.
Familiarize me with Doug Masters' haircut.
It's parted down the middle, feathered, and kind of mullety in the back. It's your typical late 80s haircut.
So it's
a lot of hair.
It's flowy.
Yeah, it's very flowy.
Feathered,
Different layers.
feathered is
Feathered,
the right way to describe it.
Okay. Well, this sounds fantastic.
That's a year commitment, though.
You
Like, that's
let
not
your kid do it.
if he wants to grow a stupid hair, if he wants to have a stupid haircut, I'm fine with that.
I mean, the plumber's kid, his like baseball coach was like, "Hey, if you grow that rat tail, because he had like a little rat tail, he was like, if you grow that rat tail until next baseball season, he's like, I'll give you $100."
Oh, snap.
And the kid was like, done.
Yeah. Easy money.
Dude, he had a rat tail halfway down his back. It was glorious by the time baseball season came around. And every time I saw him, I was like, kid, you look awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
And then he got $100 out of it.
I mean, when they're young enough, that's the time to do it. Like when you're in college or graduating college, like that time is past.
Yeah.
Embrace it
it's
now.
their yearbook photos.
And they don't care
Oh,
about that down the road either.
That haircut actually isn't bad.
It's a good look. There's a kid on my son's little league team I was coaching, and he has a fantastic mullet. And I was like, "Hey man, you want to take that thing to the next level? You gotta
Shave
shave the
sides,
sides
yeah.
down a little bit and put some lines in there." Kid literally brushed me off and said, "I'm getting lightning bolts." And I was like, my
already
bad,
planned
my
it out,
bad, my
coach.
bad, my
Both
bad.
my boys had
That's your problem. You don't dream big.
Both my boys had the steps, the lines in the side. Like, they did that like 2 or 3 years ago. And like, I had friends that were like, "What are you thinking?" And I was like, "Look, first off, those steps, like, they grow back in like 3 weeks on a kid. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Absolutely.
Let them have some fun."
If I had a month off, I'd probably grow some steps. Put them in. Why not?
So November 1st this year is Monday. Now, shave day I know is November 3rd, but I always
right.
shave on November 1st. So what I'm thinking about doing this week, the Halloween weekend, is just shave my beard into something
Awesome.
that I would never be able to wear at work or anywhere else,
Heck yeah.
and just look like a fool for a day.
I started growing mine after we did the Spirit Halloween episode. I got motivated to come up with an idea.
Oh, do you have an idea?
Yeah, it's not the best idea I've ever had, but I'm bringing the dog in on the costume.
Okay.
So I got a bunch of blue dog dye, and I'm gonna dye the dog blue because that seems healthy. so
Little washout.
I'm gonna dye the dog blue. It's called critter dye, so it's like
Totally
clearly
dog safe.
made for possums and dogs. I know.
Not dog.
Yeah, because
Hamsters.
critter is a weird word, but I was
Yeah.
like, the reviews are great, and everyone showed their dogs. They looked adorable.
Did they show the after pictures of the
Is
dog?
your wife gonna allow
the
for this?
grave plot?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. It's just a grave.
One-time use only.
I'm racking my
Like
brain on
movie
what
days.
a blue dog costume
I
is.
know. All I can think of is Blue's Clues.
No.
that's actually
He's
a
gonna
good
be
one.
Babe the Big Blue Ox, and I'm gonna be Paul Bunyan. So I'm I've got my lumberjack gear. So I had to start growing in the beard, and then I'm gonna dye the beard
like
dark.
crazy black.
Yeah, like super black right before, and then I've got my big axe and all my stuff. So I'm gonna be the lumberjack, and
Seems like a huge stretch for both of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the dog's not that big and you're not that big.
but if you
Is that
look at
is
it,
that why it's funny?
yeah, it's
irony.
It's
It's
ironic. Yeah,
You gonna get like some horns for him?
I've debated on getting
You
the
think you
horns.
would keep them on?
I
Hell
just
no.
I don't have the right staples.
Your
Critter
screws.
Staples.
Yeah, exactly.
What you need is some galvanized critter screws. Two
I
and
should
3/4
have
inch.
known. I should have known. So, but yeah, that's the plan. Just go as a lumberjack. But I wanted to get the dog involved, so that's it. Paul Bunyan, Big Blue Ox.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
There you go.
But I needed the beard.
Everyone will get that.
They'll get it when the blue dog shows up. If I just show up, they're gonna be like, what did the village people start over and now they got a lumberjack?
You could be the brawny guy.
I could be the brawny guy, but that's why I need the Big Blue Ox, so that people will at least be like, all right, blue animal.
Well, with
Maybe
Steve,
I need to stuff my
with Steve
my
for
chest.
Blues Clues coming back recently, I think you might get some confusion there.
Yeah.
He's pretty popular right now.
Yeah.
Well, he was for a minute. I think that's over now.
Yeah, I mean it was like 2 weeks ago, so that time's passed.
Yeah, he's dead to the world again. He blew it.
he left us
Moved
again.
on.
Yeah, that's how that works, man. We live in a fractured
Yeah.
day and age, man. Like our attention span is weak. Like he showed up. He gave that little speech. Everyone went nuts. Like,
Yeah.
we're going
crying
to rise.
emojis everywhere.
Yeah,
and then it's like on to the next.
He's going to be the new president. And then a week later, they're like, Blue's Clues.
By the way,
don't remember.
if that video triggered you and made you cry, you're weak sauce, dude. That was a children's show.
I do
like
think, yeah,
a
well,
legit children's
yeah,
show.
Blue's Clues was a little too young for me, but yeah, I saw too many people that are my age posting about
Yeah.
how impactful it was. I'm like, you
That's
just
true,
told
'cause
on yourself, bro.
You were probably in like junior high when Blue's Clues
yeah,
hit.
yeah.
So you should have aged
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. You were 14. What are you doing watching the shows for some like really young kids, like 4-year-olds?
That's funny. So what did you come up on? Like Barney?
Yeah, when I was super young, Barney, Sesame Street still, but everybody watches Sesame Street.
Sesame Street's timeless.
Yeah.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
Pokemon too. With that one, they had
Did
a
you
TV
get
show. for that.
Did you get in on the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood? Or is that
No,
that was
it was
over?
on. Like if I was ever at my grandma's, it was always.
It's always
Barney
on at the you go to
and
any grandma's
Mr.
house and Mr.
Rogers,
Rogers
yeah.
is
This
on.
explains why he has shit soft skills.
Yeah. Lee's not from the future, right? Like, he's not that far away from us, I don't think, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
his
mean-
age?
yeah.
Oh, he's way younger than us.
Yeah.
maybe way younger than you.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
what do we?
I don't
What-
want to
what do
hear
we
it. When I say
determine?
Michael
11
Vick, do you think of
11
a
years?
college player
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
pro player?
Yeah, we're 11 years
College
apart.
player.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you're our age.
Oh, I'm definitely your age.
He only knows him as a dog beater.
No.
Yeah.
that's
Like
not-
it's fully removed. It's like different.
Touche.
You know, I say Vic, you think college memories.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
I say Vic,
grainy-
he goes, that asshole.
The backup quarterback that killed those dogs?
Yeah, there's a different, very different reaction,
Yeah.
visceral reaction.
Yeah, just remember the super grainy videos from the Superdome, you know? Back when they
Super grainy video.
Yeah.
That shit is the worst. You go back to like 2000 and look at footage and go, boy. I remember 2000 being like, we've made it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw a football game on a high definition TV was a USC and Notre Dame game years ago, and I remember seeing it like, oh, you can see the sweat. That's crazy. It's so clear.
Yeah.
And then if you were to go back and watch that right now, you'd be
Oh,
like, I
it'd be-
can't see
yeah, it'd be
anything.
garbage.
Can't read the numbers.
It's horrible.
Do you remember, like, sitcoms had to change their
Like their format.
staging and stuff
Yeah.
because it was clearly fake
Yeah,
when
it
they
was
went
like-
to HD?
You could see all the flaws.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. And you had to take a whole nother level up in attractiveness for actors and actresses because all of a sudden you're like, ooh, that guy's kind of rough around the
Yeah, I
edges,
get
you
it
know?
anymore.
Yeah.
The best, and I missed out on it, but like right around that year 2000 was when big screens got big and like they were costing you $3,500, $4,500, $5,500,
Heck
and
yeah.
now like you can get a 60-inch TV for $300.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah, how gross!
And it's got internet.
Yeah.
It does everything for you.
I hardly.
Tell you the weather.
Yeah.
I just have to plug it in. That's all.
Yeah. And then it just
Yeah,
does
this
it.
goes.
Look at the ones now that are the art frames too. The
Dude, I
Samsungs.
was over my
They're
buddy
so
Billy's house
nice.
today, and I've always noticed he has one, but I really was looking at it today. I was like, dude, that literally looks like art. Like the frame is framed out. Like I'd never even heard of the thing, and he was telling me all about it and showing me how you could change the picture and everything. I'm like, the PR on this is the worst. I've never even heard of it. I've never heard of that. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware
He's
of it.
not reading the super expensive blogs that we.
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly. Yeah, I've been aware of them. They're
Have
pretty,
you ever
they're
seen
pretty-
them?
Not in person. So I read the blogs. I aspire. I don't know.
You can
Rich
buy
people.
you can buy these things that stick on a standard TV. That
Oh,
actually,
really?
That actually
Yeah.
do similar for.
And with some of
$60.
these TVs being the smart TVs now, like they have that web access that you could put up your own
Yeah.
art
Mhm.
show effectively.
Yeah.
But those Samsung ones are geared specifically for that. I
Yeah.
think they have like a separate subscription too that you have to pay
They do,
for.
yeah. Well, you
just
can,
to be able to
yeah.
access
you can,
like the
well,
art.
you can add like more art,
Yeah.
obviously.
So I changed my anytime you have a Chromecast hooked up, it'll go through like art if you
Yeah.
want it to. But I was like, nah, you should show my recent highlights from my photos, which was
Careful.
which was good.
Easy on that one.
It was good for
you see a
little
lot of memes my kids shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah, no. So it unfortunately, I take a lot of pictures of beer for the podcast.
Yeah.
So once a week, you get a picture of whatever turd we drank. So then that was showing up. But then one day, I'm sitting there and I walk in the room, and there's this beautiful nutscape of the Pallet House. So if people aren't familiar with what a nutscape is, it's when you just ever so gently drop your balls just in the top frame of the photo so that you see
It's
a
a
beautiful
landscape photo.
Yeah, and then
beautiful.
there's just you're like, wait, what's up at the top there? And you just see like two bulges and a little hair coming off of it, and it's a nutscape, and it's a beautiful form of art that I think is underappreciated. If there was ever an exhibit of like beautiful nutscapes, I'd go see that exhibit. That would be the kind of thing
you
to
would.
get me out to VMFA.
Get
I'd
you
be
a
like,
whole
"Woo."
wing to
Yeah.
BMFA.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I come in the room and there's this picture and it's the pallet house looking in, my nuts and the dog just laying there, and it like, if you don't know, the kid looks perfect and the kids are sitting there in the room, my wife's there, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, hey Google, Netflix, and like Netflix came up really quick. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I definitely got to be careful with that.
No one noticed.
There is a good little trick that you can do there if you're having like a party or whatever. You put an album and make your photos right to that album.
Yeah.
And like during the party, people's photos will show up on the TV and scroll through, and it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I just accidentally said recent photos.
Show my balls.
Yeah, I don't
No.
recommend that one.
One of my recent photos was my balls.
Yeah, Brendan messes up because he'll put his Nutscape album up, and
Yeah.
mean, he's got so many of them.
Hundreds.
I mean, there was a time there where I definitely had.
Did you really visit a place if you didn't have a nutscape, though?
Thank you, thank you, Abacus.
I think everywhere I visited it doesn't have a Nutscape,
Williamsburg
except for the Pallet House.
would beg to differ.
You know how hard it is to take a good nutscape too, because you have to completely invert, and then you still have to get everything in frame and get the perfect picture, and the camera's confused because it's like, what?
Well,
do I
you're talking
focus on?
Nutscape selfie. It's easier with a friend.
Never taken a nutscape with a friend. Yeah, it's
I'm
always
confident I
friend.
will never need any of this information.
Yes, you and me both.
Yeah, this probably isn't.
He
a
was
good
so
lead.
proud when he took that picture too. He was just so happy, and I was like, "Hold on, who did that?" He's like, "Me." I was like, I could tell from the perspective it was like outside in his backyard. I'm like, "Wait, you're just bent over with your pants down in the backyard?" He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, how else would you do that?" And I'm like, "You're in a neighborhood, dude. It's the middle of the day. It's like 12:30 on a Sunday. It's not even like nighttime or anything. He's just ass out in the middle of a Sunday."
I'm establishing dominance.
Announce my presence with authority.
Yeah. Yeah, that's-
Imagine if you're walking down the street, you just glance up in the yard, and you see that. You're like, what in God's name is that guy doing?
I feel like that guy's
Hey,
crushing.
Carl,
a
come over and
nutscape.
help. I need a hand.
Thank God you're here. Thank God you came by.
He needs help.
There's something wrong with that guy. Oh, it's just a nutscape. That's Brendan. He's out there all
Say
the
hey to the
time.
friendly neighbors.
Neighborhood Nutscape guy. You know him.
Yeah, it must be
Every
that.
neighborhood's got one.
Yeah. It's just that time
He's
of
on the
day.
list.
Time of day when the light is just
Yeah.
right. You know? A 50% chance I'm out in the yard, pants down, bent over, getting a pic. You know?
Oh, you have an eye for art.
I do. I do. I'm going.
Brown eye.
I'm going camping next week. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a beautiful nutscape.
Still working on how we got from HD TVs to that one. Like,
How do we
It was
get-
on the
Because you put it on
HGTV.
Well, I don't know how we got from M4K to any of this stuff. The whole point was for us to talk about M4K.
Sorry to
That's
our
true.
sponsors.
We were like 2 minutes in. We were like, we're here to talk about M4K. Now we're 18 minutes in, and we have to delete the first 12 minutes, last 12 minutes. That's my bad. Mike.
Oh,
our growers are we're hitting right in their demographic, I think. So I think we're in safe territory. You know, the charities are the people I worry about sometimes.
We don't want your money anymore.
At least not that ITPH money. The
Yeah.
rest of it's cool.
yeah.
This team is out of the allocation altogether. Okay.
Can you rename them somewhere on the docket there?
Don't worry, they're outside. They don't come in the stash bash. A little roped off area.
Stash Bash at Triple Crossing again this year.
Nice, I'm excited, yeah.
excited to hopefully do all that in person. Nothing kind of goes sideways on us here in the winter months. But confirmed with them a week or so ago. Or I should say Ben confirmed with them a week or so ago. So excited for that. The band's back. Smaller stage this year.
Which
There
band?
we go.
Oh, man.
Did I confuse?
I tried to prepare for everything, and I forget the name of the band.
Not
band
the band
is,
from last year. Not the Grateful Dead
No,
band.
not the Grateful Dead. This is a
Good.
This is our
Yeah.
theme this year is License to Grow, which is actually
Beastie Boys,
Pallet
nice.
House guys inspired that theme. So we always have I don't know why we are always resonating with bands, but for a few years
Yeah.
now that it's always been a band tour theme, and the Beasties came up actually last year. So this is actually what we would have done in 2020, but doing it in 2021, which was great because a lot of stuff was already decided. So
you didn't want to waste it on the COVID year because you came up with it in 19.
Well, yeah, but I will say the COVID year was really sort of stressful, particularly at first, and
For sure.
but it pushed us to do a lot of things that maybe we wouldn't have necessarily done. We did a bunch of virtual things.
Yeah.
Our Omaha chapter was a huge sort of supporter of ours and helped us figure that out. They kind of went first, and all that stuff. So that was really cool. And so, text messaging, not something we always talked about kind of doing, added that. Just a bunch of things that we really wanted to do.
The videos were really cool.
Yeah, I hope we can get some of that stuff back. We were sort of necessity last year, and we're not always the most motivated group. So, now without the necessity, can we sort of encourage people to do? But the Cheers video at the end of the year, I thought was awesome.
That
I thought
was
I loved that.
Yeah, I
that
thought it'd
was
be
so
a good.
much fun.
I thought it'd be a good.
The best was the dozen or so numbnuts at the beginning who couldn't follow the clear written out directions
Right.
of like to the right, past to the
Right.
Here's a little pro tip. It's a Cheers video, not a chug vid. I didn't know that. And so I definitely chugged a beer on mine and caught a little bit of flack for that. Because apparently I chugged a beer. You're supposed to just cheers, take a sip, move on.
same thing.
I didn't know.
It didn't bother. It didn't bother me. The more the trickier thing was for the editor when people didn't pass the right way. That made it harder on them. Which wasn't me, so I didn't complain too much. But there was some scuttlebutt about the difficulty with that.
The
But I thought-
directions were written out to like the
Troy.
Very
I literally send emails every
Know the
week
demographic.
that people don't follow. Right?
But you still have a 50-50 shot.
they still got it wrong.
You know? Next year I'll chug 2 beers. I'm going to do one in each
just like-
direction. And then it's
Just
like, one of
cover-
those will work.
Cover all your bases,
That's
do it
right.
both sides.
we should
Just
get.
elevator out of the frame.
Brendan's gonna send 2 videos, one left, one right. We're gonna make it so he passes it to
Exactly.
himself.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
That would rule. He did it again.
That guy must have a twin. Change outfits and everything.
Oh, I'm down. I am down.
So,
for-
the band is a bit of not. I don't think they're exactly like a Beasties tribute band, but
Nice.
they will do some Beastie stuff for us. So I think that's pretty cool. A lot of the same stuff that we've done in previous years as far as the breweries go. We're adding in some virtual events that we thought were particularly successful.
Yeah, those were fun.
Bourbon raffles, one of them. So you guys sign up.
Ooh, yeah.
Make sure
Yeah,
you.
that's what I need.
More bourbon.
More bourbon.
Something a little different this year. I haven't sent this out yet, but we just finalized this yesterday. The Shave Day kickoff will be at Topgolf this year. So in there,
Oh, fun.
they have a beer garden area on the first floor there. That's outside. They're providing us some. We're not going to feed the world or anything, but
Yeah.
we'll have some
Appy
food,
tasters.
some food and stuff there. So a little different than the brewery setup, but a little bigger space. The answer was getting a little bit overwhelmed with Shave Day traffic. So. And it's mostly inside, so trying to accommodate as many folks as possible. So that I was excited about that. See how that goes.
I like that. Any chance we can get to do more outside, I think you're going
Mhm.
to bring more people in because there's varied levels of,
Sure.
comfortability.
Yeah.
Sure. That's the hard thing. It's like making sure we kind of split the difference on that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody has their own perspectives and how what you should and shouldn't be doing and that sort of thing. So we want to make everybody feel secure. Lee actually brought us Star Hill,
Nice.
and they have that rooftop bar. That's going to be our rooftop bar. That's going to be one of our check-ins.
Oh, that's open now.
Second
Yeah.
or second.
I haven't
or
been. I
Third
gotta
week.
go.
I
They've
can't
been open
say.
for a couple of years, but yeah, they also
Yeah.
do a.
Well, I haven't been out in a couple of years. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what breweries were locked in. And
Yep. We'll send the schedule out
Okay.
tomorrow, I think. So by the time this airs, it should be. Well, I don't know, Brendan, what your crazy schedule is. You told me beforehand.
It all depends. I may get it out tonight.
but
I
it
may
won't-
not.
It won't air tomorrow until tomorrow at noon.
Yeah.
That's my plan is to have it come out on Friday the 22nd.
Okay.
So now everyone who's
Now
made it
it's
this
locked
far
in.
can. Yeah.
Now we're going tomorrow. So the schedule should. I guess I got to send the email now tomorrow too. So the
See, we're
so-
motivating each other.
Yeah.
So the schedule will be in there, but a
What
lot
about all of us being half lazy?
Half.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
We're complimenting
Exactly.
each other.
Right.
Yeah.
50, 50,
One
100.
full lazy.
That's right.
Oh, no. One full working person.
Yeah, so I'm trying to make sure I remember all these right. A lot of the same fan favorites. Star Hill is new. Topgolf is new. Of course, Triple Crossing at the end of the year. Final Gravity, Midnight, Kindred's in there. I don't see
Nice.
Stu here, but shout out to Stu.
We'll make sure
I'm
Stu's
gonna-
not working that.
Actually, no. He'll probably work it.
I think I might be forgetting one more.
I think that's all.
Is that it?
Yeah,
okay.
especially if we are doing the Top Golf one. I
Yeah.
think that's everything.
Yep. So, and then I think there's 3 or 4 virtual. I think 3 virtual events. One of which is the bourbon raffle, and I'm sure there'll be some matching surprises that happen throughout.
So for those
throughout the
that
month.
for those that don't know, because we kind of, I guess we assume everybody knows. But
Yeah,
can you tell
yeah,
us
that's
what
true.
M4K is?
Nope.
It's nebulous.
Abacus, pick us up.
Guys with mustaches.
Yeah. So I'm joking. We probably should have led with that.
Yeah,
But
well,
we
this
got
is
we
kind
got
of
into a
loose.
lot of detail about photos. So the Mustaches for Kids, sort of all our chapters across the U.S. We have Mustaches for Kids America now, which I'm really excited
Oh,
about.
wow.
I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But M4K Richmond is our Richmond chapter here that, a group of guys has a good time with facial hair to kind of create a bit of a marketing piece for raising money for kids, local kids charities through the month of November. So we're about 200 growers strong. We had 200 growers last year and raised over $500,000, which was our biggest year yet.
Insane.
$500,000
Yep.
just here in the Richmond metro area.
And that was a huge jump from the year prior.
It was. Last year was really hard to predict, and just with COVID and people not being able to come out and like interact as much as they could, but we really, it really kind of astounded all of us, and super excited.
And you were the president last year?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just
Interesting.
I know
Just
we were
putting that out there.
worried. I know we were worried
Coincidence?
about some people not having jobs, and maybe not being able to
Yeah.
be generous, but kind of worked out there for us.
Yeah, it's funny. We talked to a lot of nonprofits and stuff about it leading up to the season and after the season. They actually found that people were more giving last year than they actually had been in previous years. So
Wow.
it was a little counterintuitive maybe, but great nonetheless.
I remember we did this episode a year ago today, a night just like tonight, and we were all very concerned that we didn't know what was going to happen this year. We didn't know if we were going to be able to raise money, if people were going to have the ability to raise money, if the fact that we were going to be virtual was going to
Yep.
kind of lessen the morale of the growers, and if people were going to be in a position to give because everyone had their own things that they were thinking about and their own concerns. And it's shocking that we did as well as we did. It's a testament to all the growers and everybody out there that donates. And there's a lot of big hearts in Richmond, and I'd be remiss if I didn't call it out. I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
big shout out to everybody that participated, either growing or donating.
Absolutely. I mean, I was double checking the numbers before we came in. We've been growing since 2003 now, and we surpassed last year $2 million, $2.3 million since
Wow.
2003. So
Awesome.
that's huge. A big part of that has been in the last 2
yeah.
years. So I think the prior year was a little shy of $400,000, and this past year was $500,000. So that's almost $1 million in 2 years.
Yeah.
So our Omaha chapter, for instance, these guys are killing it. They're in the $800,000 or $900,000 range
Holy
each
shnikes.
Wow.
each November.
How many growers do they have?
Three.
I don't know. Off the top of my head.
Badass dudes.
Three
One's
dudes.
Jeff Bezos.
3 dudes. But what I will say is what's even more exciting about that is some of the new chapters that have kind of either sprung up or kind of been revitalized over this period. So M4K Nashville, I think it was, had their first season, and these guys are raising like 20, 30 grand, which is
Oh wow.
in their first season, which is actually, I think it's like a record for them to raise
For a
that
first
much
year?
for
Yeah.
a first year.
Yeah, because famously our first couple years was $500.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna get you a Nashville grower. You what's their website? Do you know? I mean, you may not.
I don't know off the top of my head. I can certainly get it to you.
Just Google M4K Nashville.
Whatever they're on Instagram, you can find them pretty easy. The what's interesting is they grew. I don't know the logic. I don't know anything about it, but they grew in October, so they just finished.
Oh, nice.
Oh crap!
or maybe it was September. They just finished. So that was curious to me, but I was all the same cool.
Yeah.
And then some of the Omaha guys helped us
I was
establish.
going to say they do it earlier in the year. The Omaha
they
guys,
do it
right?
in May.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool because we end up learning stuff from one another. And M4K America is really some of the leads across those chapters kind of getting together and shooting ideas and stuff off of each other. And that was really spawned by a lot of the work from some of the Omaha guys and Ben here in the Richmond sort of chapter getting together and saying, hey, we can make this even bigger than our local area. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. Those guys are super ambitious, clearly. But it's been awesome to see.
Have we ever considered doing it in a month that's not November? 2 reasons. One, Movember. 2, Thanksgiving. Just because I do think there's other charities that kind of compete right during that time frame. But also, seriously, I look horrible in my Thanksgiving photos. Like,
Right.
I don't do anything in like February. Well, Valentine's Day, but she already loves me.
There has been a little bit of talk about that in the past, but I don't think anything too serious.
It's mostly Brendan, right?
Yeah, I think the not so much for those reasons. I think Thanksgiving is actually a draw for like a positive thing actually for the fundraising. So
Yeah, I can see that for non-selfish reasons, sure.
right.
But when you really think about me,
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's get down to
Have we
brass
talked
tacks.
enough about Brendan yet?
Yeah,
Honestly,
you're
I'll
looking macro.
I'll
I'm really feeling
I'll make you a
micro.
deal, Brendan. You can grow a mustache whenever you want, as long as you cut me a check for the same amount to donate.
Okay, I kind of like where this is going. Like I'll take my average. So I got to get about $1,500.
Yeah.
And I could grow
There you go.
anytime. Okay, I like where this is going.
plus 20%.
There used to be a sort of an unwritten rule that if someone didn't want to grow or they wanted to get out of growing, like we knew what the average grower would raise, and we were like, "That's fine, just write me a check for that amount."
Yeah.
and you can
put it in my hand right now.
we walk away.
Yeah.
We'll let you go.
It's just not as fun though. I got to be honest. Like as much as I complain, it's a blast. Like I love the camaraderie that comes with growing for M4K.
For sure.
On top of the fact that you feel really good about doing good for a month. Because I got 11 other months where I don't do a lot of good.
Debauchery.
Yeah.
You know, I would
Nutscapes.
That's a whole nother thing, and that is year-round enjoyment.
Your Nutscapes for Kid chapter is not raising anything.
You can tell what time of year it is by the drop.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
How about the fact
You're
that
getting us
How
sidetracked?
about the fact that one of the biggest growers last year wasn't even a grower?
Well, technically, he tried,
He's still trying, I think.
but he was
Wasn't he
like
10 years old or something?
Yeah, he wasn't even that
I
old.
think he was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
He was a young kid. Like it was super cool to watch because, you know, in our Cheers video, my man's drinking milk. It's just, and he had a milk mustache. I was like, that kid's awesome.
That kid is the coolest.
He's
Yeah,
going places.
he was great. He was the grandson of one of our charities, maybe the founder or president. I can't remember the details now, but it was super cool to see. He was so in.
Oh, he was in.
And it was awesome to watch, and he cleaned up donation wise. So
That in and of itself shows how much it matters to the charities. If they were talking about it enough that a 7-year-old had heard, because 7-year-olds don't pay a whole lot of attention,
Yeah.
but they know cool when they see it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he was hearing it, and he was like, I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was awesome. I a lot of cool things happened last year like that. That I think again, like I feel like we have a good time when we're all sort of checking in and like being, you know, physically there with each other.
Yeah.
But the virtual stuff opened up stuff that we hadn't seen before and,
For sure.
and whatnot. And so trying to capture a little bit of both of the best, you know, the good and the bad of that,
Or
and
the
try
good
to-
and the good. The best of both
what
of them.
you said. Don't listen to what I said.
Well,
I meant the good aspects
yeah,
of it,
both of them.
of both, and try to mix that into the season.
I think Brendan mentioned it. The concern going into last year was very real. Like we didn't know what it was going to be like,
Mm-hmm.
but the community, the growers, everybody really showed out, and we really want to build on that. And it's hard to imagine building upon what we did last year, but
That's the goal.
So excited.
Yeah.
for it.
Maybe we can, though. Maybe we can. I do think it helped, though, that a lot of people were home from work. So, like, whatever, because that is one barrier for at least the first time, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to look different for a month. I don't know how I can do that. And I know for me, that was a very real concern the very first time. What you don't realize, though, is that when you are growing, then people go, what's going on with your face? And you get to say, oh, I'm actually doing this awesome thing. And it gives you a talking point. And they're like, so you're actually a good person. Like it kind of
never would have thought that.
yeah,
Shocking.
You really changed my opinion of you.
yeah. But it's a great
This
it's
month.
a great thing. But that's a hurdle at first. And I think maybe some growers were like, well, I'm not really going into the office. I can probably
I mean, it's
do
an
this.
immediate conversation starter. It happens to
For sure.
everywhere. I mean,
Well,
you've had strangers come up to you,
Oh,
Troy,
yeah.
too. Like, you have a glorious mustache.
Troy's got the
Yeah.
look,
Troy's
though,
got-
right?
Troy's got it.
Like
He
he's
does have
built
it.
for the
But
mustache.
I shaved my beard. I've had a beard for
Yeah.
15, 18 years. Like, so it's the I have to start from nothing. Like, I look ridiculous, but I do have a nice mustache when it comes in.
My favorite time of year, though, is shave day for you. I'm always like, oh,
Yeah.
look at Troy. He's adorable.
Big old moon face.
So
Yeah.
I don't think we've established, and I'm going to put you on the spot. So if you want to start looking up the charities now, would be a good time.
Yeah.
because I'm gonna ask you.
Make sure I don't
I'm
miss
just
any.
going to ask you about them now. So here's something out of left field. So when we do grow these mustaches, we get this group together. We grow for an entire month, and we donate all of the money to, like you said, to Richmond charities here in the area. Can you give us a quick rundown of the charities that we do grow for, so people can kind of get an understanding of how we help?
Sure, I'll hit some of the core ones and make a few comments about each one of those. It won't be an exhaustive list. 2 reasons: it's a long list, and the other reason is usually at the end of the year we do some smaller donations to people that maybe don't know about us or people we want to get more engaged with, and sort of make a donation as sort of a introduction to them, and based on their engagement and sort of how our missions align, we look to leverage that relationship in the following year.
You probably do have to be cognizant of the fact that you don't want to just keep bringing in organizations to the detriment of organizations that may actually, they've been affiliated with us for a while. You do want to make sure that you're growing with them as well.
Sure, I think we have organizations large and small.
Sure.
So, in some cases, we're concerned about becoming too big a piece of their sort of their
Revenue?
Not revenue. So they're too big of their sort of income, like their
budget.
money stream,
Yeah.
their budget, right? Because we're
Year to year, you don't know what you might.
we don't know what we're
get.
gonna get.
There's
and
ups
we
and
don't-
downs.
right? And we don't want to obviously disappoint people or set like expectations that maybe we can't meet, and so. There's that, and then you have very large organizations where you're kind of like, hey, we could just you could literally take the whole allocation, and you'd be like, cool, thanks, and
Drop in the bucket.
right,
Yeah.
dropping a bucket to you. So we try to balance that out and cap some of those larger ones, but also try to be mindful of like becoming too big a share of any one charity's group, and try to spread the love a little bit on that sort of thing. But
There's a lot of good to be done out there, for sure.
oh, there's no shortage of great charities out there for sure.
Well, and growing helps grow everything. I mean, you want
Boom.
like we were talking about before the show. We're still looking to add to our team, and you say we're bringing in a new member who runs
Yeah, I got
outside of
one.
our circle.
Got one, Mike Gates. Congratulations. Welcome aboard, buddy.
Yeah, so he runs outside of our circle. So like for example, when Brendan and I are both rowing, we have a lot of the same friends. So it's kind of hard to like say,
Right.
hey, donate to me. It's like, no, if I get friends on the outside of the circle and they get friends on the outside of their circle, we can get to more people. We
Well,
can
three
raise more
three
money.
people in this room all hit up the same guy and our friend Mike.
Yeah.
We all get donations from
Yeah.
him. There was a time where he just had to donate to one guy.
Yeah.
That was the glory days in Mike's life.
Yeah, well,
Now Mike's like, shit.
Mike actually emails me and asks me if there's ways that I can like back channel his donation so he doesn't spend so much time divvying it all up
Yeah.
on the website
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I tell him no, he has to go do it.
Do the work.
If
Mike.
anybody knows
Suck it
Mike,
up.
he deserves it. So
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But yeah, there's certainly a lot of cases like that where people are super generous and they have a lot of friends and they try to support them all, and that I think that's terrific. But
Yeah.
but you're right,
Yes.
like you want to expand the networks for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely. So,
You asked, so I'll kind of run them down here
Yeah.
a little bit and stop on a couple here. So Ask is one of our core charities. Ask, we've been supporting them for a long time now, have a terrific relationship with them. They support us as much as we support them sometimes, I feel, and it's really great. They just built or renovated their space and added a whole bunch of different new facilities and services for the kids that they help. And M4K made a commitment to them and did their kitchen area so we have the M4K snack stash is pretty cool.
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's we gave a a bit of a donation to.
Get a Brendan stash.
No,
and stash.
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, they do a lot of camps there for kids recovering or suffering through cancer right now, or cancer treatment, I should say. And the camps there were being done literally in their office, and so now they have a much bigger space where they can do those things. And a big part of that is feeding the kids.
Yeah.
And so really awesome to kind of be part of that capital project and kind of able to market it.
They also got tutoring for kids while they're still in school and catching up on classwork and things like that too. So it's awesome to have a place for them to be able to play and have that education.
There's so many
aspect.
things you forget about that that they have to make up for when they're getting these treatments. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to be hungry, and oh yeah, you need to continue learning, and oh yeah, you need to be comfortable in this space. You're going to be here all day. Like, we need to not just give you the treatment.
Yeah.
It's not just as simple as here's money for a treatment. It's everything else that goes along with it.
For sure. And then, of course, SCAN, Stop Child Abuse Now, I've been longtime partners with them. They're great. Children's Hospital of Richmond, obviously one of our sort of title big charities that we deal with. They're great. All the people over there have been great partners. We did a similar sort of project, a little bigger with them on their Wonder Tower, so that if you're familiar with Children's Hospital and what they're doing there, they're building a world-class children's hospital right there in the middle of Richmond. Part of that is their Wonder Tower, where a lot of their services are for kids, and then within that is they have actually an amphitheater theater type of place where they'll do music, where kids can come watch music or shows and other things, and that's actually similarly the M4K theater
performance area, I think
area.
it is something
Okay.
like that.
Nice.
We should do a live podcast from there. I think the kids would love our show. All right, we're going to drink a beer now. We're going to let you guys kids know how it is.
Raise your hand if you've ever done Nutscape. Anyone? You're going to learn something tonight.
I actually thought it was just a pretty cool thing in general, and then they were talking about kids that are sort of can't leave their rooms and stuff like that. They can actually broadcast from there to their
Oh,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
which I
That's cool.
thought was pretty cool. So Children's Hospital, big one obviously. Feed More, their backpack program is something that I think pretty well known, but contributing to that, helping kids.
That's when I end up hyping up every year, because I feel like there's a lot of kids that don't look or may not be sick by, the standards that a lot of other things, or they may not. But if you don't eat, then you're not focused on
doing
school.
well, yeah.
That's going to have a ripple effect for your entire life. And I think Feed More does help just a lot of kids that maybe might slip through the cracks in some other regard. So I always hype up Feed More. It's
Friends
big
Association of Richmond, Friends of the Homeless, some other ones that we partner with more recently, but they've been extremely engaged and great to get to know them, and there's many more.
Yeah, Friends of the Homeless has done a great job showing up and
really
becoming growers too. They've become a huge team.
That's one that
that's
my,
awesome.
my kids get really amped about, because they're always like, yeah, but you're not helping the homeless, because they picture homeless people as adults.
Mm.
And so one of my daughters called me out last year, and she was like, well, you don't do anything for the homeless. Everything's for the kids. And I was like, there are homeless children out there,
Most
and
definitely.
we're doing what we can to help. And then I told them about that charity,
Mm.
and my daughter was like, all right, $10.
All right, respect Dad.
Yeah. I was like, all right, because she thought she had me,
Yeah,
job.
so excited about the coming season. Well, this one will be new too, right? Like, it's we're still very much in the sort of throes of COVID, so we'll see how it goes. We are doing in-person and virtual events, so hopefully folks can engage as they want. But donations hopefully still on par with where we are. You can get registered at m4krichmond.org.
And this coming out now, Shave Day isn't until November 3rd. So we're giving you 2 weeks notice. That's not 2 weeks notice to donate in 3 weeks. That's 2 weeks notice to wrap your head around the fact that you're going to grow with us.
Yep.
You're going to
Join our
actually
team.
raise money, because I assure you, you can actually raise more money than you can donate, unless you got that stupid money. And then, you know what? I say sit on the sidelines and reach out to the Inside the Paladins camp and just drop that $25,000 check on us. We will donate it, because 100% of that $25,000 will go to the charity. So we don't take any money off of the top. 25,000 in, 25,000 out. That's how that works. Now, if you are a grower, there's a lot that comes with that. We actually just had a first-year grower walk in back here. The Duke just walked in, and I know he had a good experience last year for his first time growing. That was a hit to my donations, because he was always my number one donator. But he raised so much more than he could have done, and it was great, and he got to kind of experience some of that camaraderie even in that off year, and those things we were talking about, the Stash Bash. That's the end of the year big party we throw where everyone shows up in costumes. You know, you see what your mustache is going to grow into some kind of personality. You'll figure that out by the end of November. Put on what that mustache wants to wear and show up, drink a couple beers, and we get to present the big check. It's a ton of fun. But every week we get together, we get to commiserate, and we do it at a brewery where we get to
lots
have
of
a
cool
couple
swag.
beers. Tons of cool. I'm wearing a sick tie-dye T-shirt right now with the mustache on it. I see Mike has this sweet. That's a Richardson 112 on his head right there.
I wore
new hats
light
this year,
blue
brother.
one.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
New hats this year.
So there's always a good amount of swag, whether it be pint glasses or koozies. I mean, because you really are part of a community, and those things, that money's not coming out of it. Those are donations that are coming from corporations that want to get people to grow, and so they will actually donate to bring kind of that swag and that vibe. It's a really special thing, and it's not something.
And if you're on the fence, you know,
Get off of
M4K helps you. They have a path to show you how to raise your first $1,000. Like, they can get you there, and if you follow the leadership, and if you join our team, we'll assist you.
That's what I was going to say.
Like, we can get you over the hump, and you can be, you know, a grander. You can get your pin your first year. It's not that hard. It really isn't.
Troy was taking my emails, and then he was like, the very first one he took, and I think it was like literally verbatim, he sent it out. The second one he took, and he goes, I think I can do better. And he started changing a little bit. And then by the end of the month, he was kind of doing his own thing. But, you know, if you do join our team, and by our team, I'm talking specifically kind of the Inside the Pallet House team, we would love to have you. We'll be glad to help you. Troy is our coach. Troy will walk you through some of this. I'm glad to help.
On call 24/7.
We're here to help you through this and make sure that you feel comfortable in what you're doing. We've kind of got a proven technique. We're not as good as some of the big dog teams at M4K, but I think we're a
newer team.
We're getting pretty solid, and we'd love to have you on board. So if you do think about, oh man, I'd love to Venmo those guys some money, you know, this is a way you can get more involved and do a good thing. We don't need the money as bad as some of these charities do and some of these people that they're helping.
Yeah, and if you're going to give us each $25, you're better off joining the team and raising, you know, $1,000, $1,500, $25. I mean, we've had guys raise $5,000. I mean, we've had big ticket members.
You'll probably get $20 kickback from me at some point during the week, because everybody on my team gets a little nudge, and I feel like
a little taste.
Yeah, a little something. But so we'd be glad to have you on the team. We really would like to keep growing our team to grow the overall greater good for M4K.
But if you don't join our team, you can join one of the second class teams. I mean, we're okay with that.
Yeah,
so be a part of it.
Yeah, Mike Jackson earmuffs, because we're gonna. Now's when we talk. Seriously, our team's the best, guys. Come on, man. We got to do this. The organization on the whole is awesome, but we're like the coolest.
Yeah, we are the coolest.
No, we would absolutely love to have you join. So reach out. You can hit us up at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We'll make sure we get you all of the information, even though the information is m4krichmond.org.
I mean, the president
But we can send that to you, make it even easier.
The president said that the theme for this year was Art, Brendan, me, and Will's costume.
Yeah.
I mean,
from Chris from the Teach Me Babe podcast, he joined us on that journey.
Yeah.
He showed up doing our little sabotage
the Beastie
outfit.
Boys, yeah.
Well, you bring up a good point. I should mention this. Like, you guys have been a big part of the last. I mean, money wise for sure, but like, not everybody can raise a bunch of money. Not everybody has, you know, the means or the connections or whatever, and that's totally fine too, right? Like, I'd be lying to you to say like, hey, the podcast has helped us. Having your involvement has helped us, right? Like, your enthusiasm about it has helped us.
I was gonna say, we got enthusiasm. Outside of that, like, we have that energy. That's about it.
Get the radio waves.
Yeah.
Well, but the people that also encourage the culture and the engagement of all the other growers is an intangible that, you know, I don't think you can put a lot of money on. So I think give yourself some credit there, and you know, the BC Boys is sort of evidence of that, right?
That was a good costume.
I
dig
it.
Cool.
I dig it. I still wish my Peaky Blinders costume, we could have blown that out more last year. I really enjoyed wearing that.
You still got crushed on the costume contest though.
Yeah, I can't remember who.
That was a little inside baseball.
No one remembers. No one remembers who won, but I think everyone remembers second place.
I remember who won.
Do you? I don't know. The guy was weird looking, wasn't he? Was he like under a Christmas tree or
yes.
something?
Yes, he was.
Creeper style.
I did lose handily to the president right here, Mike Jackson.
What did Jay go as? Jay's usually in the top 3 at least.
Oh, he did like a combination of all of his past costumes, I think, is what he ended up doing last
So
year.
he overthought it.
Yeah.
See,
When you have
Yeah.
5 costumes, you have 0 costumes.
I refuse to have my costume pre-picked. My mustache will tell me
Yeah, it's a journey. Like
who
I
I
said.
should
You gotta
be.
Yeah.
Listen
Like,
to it.
the whole Peaky Blinders thing popped up at the last minute. I was like, it was like
That was a great
week or
costume.
2 before,
It
and I
was
was
a
like,
good costume.
I'm looking a lot like Arthur Shelby these days. Like, all right, here we go. Ditka came out one
You
year.
could
the
wear
Beastie Boys.
Peaky Blinders again this year because we didn't really have a stash bash last year.
I could, but I may not. I may not. I have to see. The mustache
We'll
tells
see
me.
where the follicles take you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every year they're different. Last year's mustache, actually, the whole bourbon tasting thing that we'll be doing next episode, and
Next week.
yeah, that actually was born of this mustache. This mustache was a bourbon drinker. It was really weird last year.
How did it feel to be a man?
It felt different. It felt different. Yeah,
He's not used to it.
certainly uncomfortable territory for me. I'll give you that.
Exciting and new.
Yeah, it was like puberty at 40. It was certainly odd. So, speaking of, we have to do a deli.
Oh, we do.
We're very late, and we got to end this thing quick. Should we do yours?
Yeah.
I'm dying to do
Yeah,
this.
I'll do it. I'll grab it.
right.
Do you know where it is? It's in the Yeti on the right.
Well, we should thank the president, Mike, for bringing a deli.
He
that-
brought a deli, which will be. So we're this is-
way ahead on delis.
This is beautiful. We got 3 delis in the house.
Yeah.
It's a problem you don't get very often.
No.
No, so my deli, I won't tell you what it is or any of that, but it is an IPA that is a low ABV and it is crushable. So I was like, hey, I know some guys that might be into this one.
Dude, this is the foulest looking thing I've ever seen. Oh, my gosh.
This is a weird one. I had to try it.
Oh, I got to get a picture of this one. Who
Yeah,
brought
you
this
don't
in?
even want to
Did
describe
the
it.
abacus bring this in?
Of course.
I've never abstained from a deli before, but
He said abstain. So this is from the Against the Grain Brewery, and it's called the Brown Note. As you could guess, it is an American brown ale. And I'll leave it at that.
Go ahead and go for a descriptor. What are we looking at here, Brendan?
Brown ale.
But like, what are we seeing on the description of the can?
This can.
the marketing is really shitty on this one.
I will give you that.
There is a full dad bod dude covered in tattoos. It's a cartoon. It's obviously not a real person. And it's his back, and he's wearing tidy whities, and he has poo in his pants. So we're gonna be tasting the brown note. Is this beer gonna do what the brown note does?
Thanks, Abacus.
I don't know. So the little write up on it says, "Oh, the shame. This is the brown ale to end all brown ales."
Which I don't like brown ales going in, so this is going to be a difficult
Yeah, I'm not
hurdle.
a fan either.
Enjoy it because there's no longer any reason to drink another brown ale. You've reached the pinnacle.
Was there ever a reason?
The disco bump, the brown note. Drink this beer or shit yourself trying.
So on the
So
front,
this one does not say crushable anywhere that I saw.
it's got
Shittable.
an out of shape guy with tattoos that would make Pete Davidson cringe, all up and
Exactly.
down his
These look
back.
like Pete Davidson gave them to him.
And he's wearing tidy whities, and they are
So
heavily stained.
With a yellow waistband. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, and then he's got a roll of toilet paper in his hand, and then right here it says in his right hand, it says Phantom Wipe, and like he didn't really wipe, and then the slug line for it is, uh-oh. I don't know how else to describe that. That's what it says. It's PHFFRRTT.
I feel like the
uh-oh.
hairy lower back and hairy inner thighs just take it over the top.
really speaks to me.
It's not a good look.
I've never been more scared before.
Yeah, it's not a great. They're not selling it.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'll tell you.
Well, they are. It's a
They-
weird,
I bought it.
but it's American brown ale, which
It's
is
some-
a tough.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that stands out on the shelf. You
Says
saw
malty.
it. You immediately had to do a double or triple take to look at what you were seeing. Yeah, it's something I couldn't pass up picking up for you guys.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, that adds up.
Art and design by RobbieDavis.com. All right, Robbie Davis.
Would you want your website on there?
I mean, yeah, I think Robbie would. Robbie's a nightmare of a human.
Classic Robbie.
Classic Robbie.
Yeah, so this is also a 5.8. This is in a 16-ounce can. They came in 4 packs. Picked up at Wegmans. I think they were probably $14.
Were they like an old like porno mags, like behind a little sensor?
No. That's what I'm saying. You see a man in tidy whities that are soiled.
How's this can
Actually-
not scratch and sniff?
Oh, it is. Taste it. Taste the beer. Well, I don't know who wants to go first or
Second.
Nice. Do you want me to lead this one off?
I'll
or-
go first.
Okay.
I actually am somebody that likes brown ales. I like
Okay, perfect. Good.
malty beers. I think this is good. This has a little more coffee flavor than I was expecting. But flavor-wise, it is nice. I think this is definitely something for the fall, colder weather. I'll give it a 3.
I was expecting more out of that build-up.
Well, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like brown ales, but this is a pretty classic brown ale for me. I thought coffee too, or particularly on second or third sip there. So it's actually not bad. I will say the can kind of makes my stomach turn when I drink it. So
Yeah.
I
It's
might
not a can you want to be seen holding. it.
Gosh, it just
You don't want to be in a bar holding this up. Hey, honey, how you
Hey,
doing?
girl. What's up?
just thinking about the
You want to
artwork.
come over lit? Wait, you want to come over lit?
Turn that can around. You got a koozie, by the way? Asking for a friend.
If you just poured it in a cup and I never saw the can, I would probably make it a 3. But the artwork's killing it for me. I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
going like the
Stu's here.
reverse stew.
Yeah.
The reverse stew. Marketing's horrible. Are you going?
I'm 100% with the advocates and Mike. Like, this beer isn't bad. This isn't a bad beer, but I get what the marketing is funny. I get that, but it's also disgusting to be holding this can in your hand while you're drinking this brown ale. It's just not sitting well with me. Now the beer, slightly above average. If you like malty beers, I'm sure you'll probably actually love this. I'll give it a 3, but it's not. There's nothing like over the top good about it, but it's not. You don't want to spit it out. It's not a gross beer, like you said. If you put it in a cup, you probably drink it and be fine. The can is just pretty out there.
Yeah.
So what do we have? We have a
I got a 3, 2.5, and
2 3s and a 2.5.
okay.
I
2
technically
3s.
gave it a 3, but I gave Stu a nod.
There you go.
Respect. I did just notice that the guy has the word malt tattooed on both of his
Yeah.
triceps. Kind of like that. I like that they're normalizing the muffin top. I can respect that. I've been working on
So his
mine for a
right
while.
hand is not there. Is that what that
No,
is?
that's because it's the phantom wipe. So he can't even wipe.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a Robbie Brown that got pretty deep on this one.
Yeah, more thought went into the artwork than the beer itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So brown ales in general and we don't get along a whole lot.
Yeah.
They
They made this beer. They're like, this taste. We're not going to sell this on taste. What can we
Yeah, have they
do?
jazz this
Yeah.
up a
What
little
can we
bit?
do to make it catchy?
I agree with that whole coffee, almost
Yeah.
chocolate, like a chocolate coffee note. I'll give it that. It's very malty, but there's something on the back end that's like astringent, and I'm not quite sure what
It's
that
super
is.
dry.
Yeah, so it gets this like astringent, even though the malty is supposed to be sweet and fun, and then it goes a different direction at the end. And for that, I'm not a huge fan. I'd actually far prefer like the Legend Brown. I'd even rather have a Newcastle Brown, and I am not a Newcastle Brown fan. But so for me, a Newcastle Brown is like the 2.5 to 3 of brown ales, whereas that slight astringent, even though I can tell this is a higher quality beer, I know that doesn't add up.
What's astringent mean?
It's that taste.
Oh, did we say it's 5.8? Do we?
Yeah.
throw that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's-
I
Abacus
missed that.
did.
How else can I describe astringent? It's almost like it's like astringent-y.
Oh,
Now
thanks.
I get it.
That helps.
Cleared it all up.
Almost like sour without the sour, like rubbing alcohol. It kind of like has an
okay.
astringent. It's like a sharp, bitter.
It's not.
Taste
It's
at
not
the end.
important.
It's the word that I'm going to stick
Yeah.
with. I actually am taking it down a peg because I think the Newcastle is a superior beer, and I think it's a lesser quality beer. This is, you can tell that this has good flavors in it, but I'm actually going to go as low as a 2 because
Ooh.
a 2.5 would have been the Newcastle.
Yeah.
The Legend Brown would be the 3. So if I'm basing it on my brown ale scale, it's going to come down to a 2.
And you have a brown ale scale.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
Yeah. So I think that's where I have to go. So we had a 2, a 2.5, a 3, and a 3.
Yeah.
So it didn't die on the vine. It's going to end up as an average beer.
Yeah, like I said at the outset, I'm somebody that likes brown. I like malty beers, but this is on the low end for me. For
You
that.
wouldn't buy
It's-
this again.
No, can regardless. It does leave the mouth feel super dry.
Yeah, it's like a Clearasil pad in my mouth. That's an astringent flavor.
So does the out of shape
Still lost.
tattoo guy with a hairy ass and shit in his
Salicylic
pants
acid,
help?
benzoyl
or-
peroxide, all very
I
astringent.
don't know what benzoyl peroxide tastes like.
Yeah. How much Oxycontin have you eaten? Obviously not enough.
Dude, I once ate a tube of Clearasil. This is a long story.
What? Who? No one's ever said
But
that
this,
before.
but this beer is shit.
yeah.
Did you make $17 that time, or
No one's ever said I once ate a tube of Clearasil.
There's
do you
all
want
right.
us to call Guinness for the world records?
Yeah.
For that?
All right, there's logic behind it. So I was in high school.
You had zits in your mouth?
Those aren't zits. No, I was in high school and I was with this guy and we were driving along and he got pulled over and we'd been drinking. And so I get pulled over and the cop is like,
So you followed the old eat a tube of Clearasil to get
I
out
was-
of DUI?
I was panicked.
We've all heard that.
know that
So-
one.
Yeah.
So
My great grandfather told me the same thing.
So I was
Dries it
sleeping.
all out.
I was sleeping over at a friend's house. So I had Clearasil because I was a little acne-ridden high school kid. So I had a tube of Clearasil in my pocket and some other stuff. We'd been out drinking. My buddy gets pulled over. Now he's like he's in a weird state. He showed up at the house. I knew I shouldn't have been going out with him, but he was talking really crazy thoughts. And for some reason I thought I could talk him out of it. And he's like, "We're gonna go over here." I don't know. I got in a car I shouldn't have got in. Driving down the road, he gets pulled over. Cop's like, "I'm taking this guy to jail." He's like, "Have you been drinking tonight?" And I was like, huh, "No way, man. What are you talking about?" I'm like 7 Zimas deep.
So you hadn't.
So I hadn't been drinking in my mind.
He's like, officer, I have not had anything to drink. I'm on my 4th tube of Clearasil.
So I didn't know what to do. He said, "I'm going to give you a breathalyzer," but then he's like going back to the car to get a new tube or something.
Yeah.
So he goes back and I'm like, "What do you do?" Now I'd heard all the things about like pennies in your mouth and all these different things. So I just grabbed the tube of Clearasil and like squirted it in my mouth and like swishing it around. So it was very astringent. It was the point of
You
this.
still haven't helped.
Should have
my
led with that
understand
one
what
time.
it
It
is.
reminds me of the one time I ate a
Let me get the Google machine.
This story did not help.
No, but so when he goes, "No one knows it," I'm like, "Well, no, I know exactly what that tastes
I
like."
lived that life.
Yeah. So I did
So
a
now all the listeners will know when you say tastes like a tube of Clearasil, they'll go, I get it.
Yeah, because
So
everyone else is taking a clear
Okay.
cell
Yeah.
tube to the face.
Here's another pro tip. Pennies and Clearasil will not make you pass a breathalyzer,
Oh.
but
But
if you're super cool to the cop and explain your situation while the Clearasil dribbles out of your mouth, they will give you one shot to be dropped off at the house around the corner that you said you were staying at. And then I went in and got it. Yeah, what's the stringent say? Causing the contraction of skin cells and other
No,
body
not
tissues.
that one. The next one.
Slightly acidic or bitter. What'd I say? I said it was, acidic
Much
and
better description.
acidic and bittery. Yeah, so I was close.
look at the big vocab on
Yeah,
Brendan.
bittery.
Bittery.
Well, this shit tastes like Clearasil and pennies.
Long story short, people, if you want to taste what Clearasil is, go grab
Yeah.
the brown note.
Sorry.
And the,
Sorry,
Tube
against
of
the grain. I
Clearasil.
do like most of your beers.
Never thought we'd tell that story. Ever.
yeah, 6 years in, I have not heard that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
That's
there
not
you
a
go.
repeat.
That's definitely not a repeat. On a positive note, I did get dropped off at Chris's house. I got to go inside. I did not end up having to go to jail. My friend definitely went to jail. He should not have
Oh,
been
shit.
driving.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, but this was back in the age when like a DUI just meant you had to wait till morning to get your ham biscuit and you were let out.
Yeah.
Very different time. But yeah, he went to jail. I got dropped back off at the party. We listened to Stone Temple Pilots and drank more Zima.
Well, you had to get the clear.
Happy ending.
Yeah, I had to wash the clear cell out of your mouth.
And nothing cuts Clearasil better than Zima.
Yeah.
It's proven.
Boom.
You knew that.
So I knew that. I know that now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
It's
night.
a life-forming event for you.
It's a good question. What would you do after you had a whole tube of clear? Like, do you eat bacon? Try to put the grease back in your mouth? Like, what do you do?
No, I can't fathom what a whole tube of clear cell
Vomit,
tastes.
I would
That's
assume.
vomit. I would have to throw up.
Yeah.
It's in the ballpark of against
you,
the grain.
You're
brown
talking
milk.
about like swishing it around in your mouth. Too.
Yeah, yeah,
I
to-
can't like
to try
that's
to
such
get-
disgusting.
And then I had to swallow that benzoyl peroxide, to get it. Didn't want the cop to see that I was up to shenanigans.
I didn't
I think they knew.
I'm sure he knew.
I didn't use a lot of clear cell in that stuff, but like that stuff comes out like toothpaste, right? Like it's
Correct.
thick. Okay.
Also,
Correct.
This had
Okay.
to set you back for like the next couple of weeks or months. Like, how bad did you break out after that?
Oh,
He hadn't had his zit since.
yeah.
Body was like, mercy. Okay, I give him.
Damn, that guy took a lot of Clearasil.
Now he just sheds his skin once every month or two.
It's like a reptile.
It just dries him out completely.
And had to have to deal with those pesky hard-ons either.
What's wrong with Brendan? He's molting. Don't mind him.
Just time of the month.
But he didn't go to jail that night.
Yep.
Positives.
And his new skin is so clear.
So clear. A little splotchy. But clear nonetheless. Yeah, sorry. I don't know where.
Good story.
What are we talking about?
The brown note.
Charities.
That's right. That's right.
Did you ever see the Mythbusters with the brown note? So the brown note is a thing. Like
what?
there's a note that allegedly you cannot hear, but it will make you poop your pants.
Yeah, it's like a subsonic.
Yeah,
Was that myth proven?
they disproved it.
What are the odds?
Yeah,
Thank Jesus.
No doubt.
I'm gonna walk around terrified for the rest of my life.
wouldn't that be the ultimate like terrorist thing to have? Like you just go through a
Exactly.
city blaring out the brown note, and everybody's just shitting their
What's
pants.
happening?
That was the original plot in what Batman Returns.
It's one way to dehydrate a city.
Don't let it get in the water supply.
Quick, eat Clearasil. It'll sop us up.
Yeah, it's the only thing that'll save you.
Brendan's just bebopping around the city like, what's going on, everybody? I'm confused.
Natural immunity to it.
Oh,
He didn't even know. I knew eating that clear cell would be good for something.
yeah. Seriously, why are all you guys shitting yourself?
I feel fine.
It's awkward. Yeah, I'm doing great. We ran some tests. Apparently, you must have eaten a tube of Clearasil at some point in your life, sir.
What?
I did.
That's weird you bring that up.
Funny story.
I don't even know that it's a funny story. It's just a story. That happens. Oh, man. All right. I do want to get people to go out for this team. I know that we're not. This isn't the best.
Doesn't sound
This
like
isn't
that.
the best like lead in
Rock
hang
star
out with
marketing,
us.
for
boys.
the people that you want to join. But okay, let me take a different angle.
We're having a lot of fun, though.
You don't have to
Exactly.
join the Inside the Pallet House team. What I'm saying is there's normal people too.
Yeah, there's
There we go.
many normal teams that you can join as well.
There's the spin. There's the spin. And they will all be raising money for a good cause. Mike, do you have any closing statements? Because
Can you bring us back?
Wow. Yeah, it's a ton
Follow that,
of
mic drop.
ton of prayer. You get a hospital ball there. It's just like save this, Mike.
all right, let me start with the basics. So shave day is November 3rd. Is that correct?
That's right. Shave Day, November 3rd, from 6 to 8. We'll be at Top Golf. Come out, get registered. You can get registered now. Anytime between. Well, quite frankly, we'll take a registration anytime we want.
Yeah.
Anytime you're ready.
We've had people join the last day.
100%. So
And raise a ton of money in the last day. We've literally seen that.
that guy's a legend. Joined the last day, was in like a top 5 fundraiser or something.
Stupid.
Right.
Sandbagging son of a bitch.
I'm gonna show these motherfuckers. You guys been working all month for this?
Yeah, we prorated it, and we were like, this guy is gonna kill us. But yeah, anyway, totally lost my train of thought. But get out to m4krichmond.org, get registered, come out to Top Golf on November 3rd from 6 to 8, have a good time, raise some money for kids, and I promise you won't regret it.
Weekly check-ins still on Wednesdays.
Weekly check-ins every Wednesday, virtual events on Tuesday. Something I'm looking forward to this year, doing a virtual event on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday actually like seeing the people that saw the virtual event.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Every year we're trying to tweak it a little bit, something a little bit new.
Brendan, you won a trivia thing last year, didn't you?
Mhm.
Dude,
Yeah.
I literally missed the first question, so there was someone else in the lead, and then I took the lead on the second question and held that bitch from then to the end, and it was – I haven't been more stressed about
Probably your
anything.
greatest athletic achievement of
I'm
all
telling
time.
He is an athlete.
for the whole year, all year. And I have a very stressful job. That 30 minutes was the most stress that I'd had all year because I was like, I'm so stupid. Like, I can't keep getting them right. And then the questions were like hitting my wheelhouse. I was like, bro, that's the Rugrats.
Yeah. Slumdog Millionaire, that thing.
Yeah, like, everything just kept coming up, Brendan. I was like, I know that. Like, it was pretty amazing. And then there were ones that like just straight up guesses.
Yes.
Yeah, they were like, how many mustache hairs are in the average mustache? And I'm like, B?
Yeah.
And they were like, nailed it. Only one guy got it right. I was like, holy shit. It was wild.
Yeah, I won the Yeti bucket raffle.
Yeah, Yeti's
right.
right over here.
That's
Yep.
right.
I won a bourbon bottle.
Yeah, you
There
did.
go.
We were cleaning up last
I'm telling
year.
you, there's swag. There's tons
Swag
of great
for
swag.
days.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of opportunity to win things, to have fun. It's probably the most fun you'll have in a month, and it'll also be the best month of the year as far as what you do going out into the ether.
It's the most fun you'll have raising money for other people, that's for sure.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, you can always do a run or a marathon.
Yeah.
It seems silly, but
People die doing that.
Why
Yeah,
would you
we
put
try-
yourself through that.
yeah, we try to have a good time. I think most guys come out and enjoy themselves and appreciate all the sort of things we try to do to keep people engaged and having a good time. So
We lose very few growers each season.
Yeah, it usually comes down to like there is something in their life that will prohibit them from doing
Sure.
it because people look forward to
No,
doing
you
it.
missed my joke. Talk about people die running. I was like, yeah, we don't lose
Oh, yeah,
very
well, yeah, you're never gonna walk in the room and go, "Fuck, look at all these athletes."
yeah, he will not be intimidated.
No, it's a very welcoming crowd.
There's a group in the corner talking about photography that you'll never want to be a part of, and other.
No, but to your
It's all-
point, we don't lose growers. Like people, once people join, they tend to come back because it's such a good experience.
Because it's a really good time and it's a fraternity
an awesome-
unlike
Yeah.
any other.
Yeah.
And I don't know how any
Great
other
way to put it.
describe
If you were in a fraternity, now you can join another fraternity.
But it does feel
Yeah.
like it's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's a badge of honor.
Yep.
And every year, like I strive. There's a thing, and it's a little inside baseball for growers. But if you can raise $1,000, you become a grander.
Mhm.
I will not be a grander.
Yeah.
Like it becomes a source of pride for me to become a grander every year, and I will do. Like there was that one year I came out here and I matched everybody's donation. Because I was like, well, this is the fastest way to get to a grander. Spend a bunch of my own money, too. But it worked. I got everyone to donate. I didn't know the plumber was going to come in and drop a ludicrous
Yeah.
just to mess with me. But you know what? In the spirit of things, it was awesome, and it was a great story, and I felt good about it.
We've
in the
also
end.
thrown money at teammates to make sure they're a grander.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always that frantic last day
Yeah,
run
yeah.
where I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you're $50 shy. You're getting a pin because you do get a pin that has the M4K logo on it, a little mustache, and when you get to the grander, you get that pin. And I'm very proud of the fact that I have the grander
Yep.
pin from every year. I've got one that's silver. What's that one for?
25.
So there-
2,500.
Yeah, so
Ah.
if you get 1,000, I think it's like a bronze.
Yeah.
If you get a silver, it's 2,500. You get a silver. $5,000 is
5 is
gold.
gold, and then
If
10,
10 is
gold and
10.
black.
It has a black inlay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I would love to get there one day.
So I will just sidebar. The Omaha guys don't call it Granders; they call it Selleck Society, which I think is a much more badass name.
That is a badass name.
But nonetheless, it's super cool. I think my biggest regret from last year was we just weren't able to work in two of the biggest things we do our usually have a grander's lunch where we hand out pens and just
Yeah.
sort of thank a lot of the guys that everybody makes it happen, but these are some of the top sort of fundraising. And then we usually have the honk and the howl, which is the goose and the wolf. Sorry, the goose and the wolf host an actual dinner for some of the goose of the year, the top recruiter of the year.
Does the
And so-
rookie of the year get it? Is there a name for that one?
There's not.
It's
That
just
is
the
not-
rookie of the
yeah,
year?
Yeah. Well, no, rookie of the year gets invited to the honk and the howl.
No, but do they have
believe,
there's no like cool name for them.
It's just rookie of the year.
Yeah.
We got to come up with.
Maybe
cool
we
name
can come
for
up with a
that.
better name, but rookie, not
Ely
very
won that.
imaginative. He did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ely
they
won
won
that.
that.
First. And man, honestly, have you ever seen a smile that big
I know.
on Ely?
Yeah.
The dude was like a kid on Christmas. He was like, "Look at me, I did it!" With his big mustache.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of awards. There's
for sure. Yeah, definitely.
top money raiser, top recruiter, top what else is there? What am I missing?
So you have the goose, which is the top money guy, the guy who raises the most money. You have the wolf, who it's sort of evolved over the years. It used to be like the most recruits whoever got the most recruits,
Yeah.
but it's been an amalgamation who like gets the most recruits and who also raises the most
Yeah.
money from their recruits. We have rookie of the year. We've tried to bring back the costume contest. It's kind of ebbed and flowed. We did it last year, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
I'd love to keep that up.
We did it in 19 too.
Yeah, we've done it
Yeah.
sort of off and on.
Because Jay
a
won
little
that
bit.
year.
We've done it sort of off and on a little bit. We haven't been super consistent with it. It's quite frankly on Stash Bash night. Not everybody's there to like facilitate a contest. So
It does make it tough.
Well, a lot of the guys are been working for months and months, and everybody's trying to cut loose. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
all
think
you guys behind the scene on the board, are like trying to cut loose, and yet you're still trying to facilitate the party and all the events going on during the party.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So I think there's years where we're more disciplined than maybe others. So
Yep.
so I know a lot of years some of the wives will kind of be a big sort of help in picking out who looks the best.
Yeah.
and to
Or
whispers
worst.
and be like, hey, or the worst, and whispers in her ear like, this guy should probably win.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I think what the point we're trying to make is it's a ton of fun
Yeah.
to do this on top of being a really, really good cause.
They must be pretty fair because Graham would win every year if it was just best looking.
I'm going for it this year. I'm actually going to get a facelift, nose job, hair implants. I'm going all out.
You're going to spend the
Graham-
$10,000 on.
I'm going to take Graham,
Yeah.
taking Graham. Yeah,
Graham-
pec implants,
yeah.
little butt lift.
My oldest son wants to be his kid, I think. He walked into the Zoom last year, was like, that guy has great hair. I'm like, get out of here, kid.
I always give Graham a hard time. Graham's
How?
I always give him a hard time.
For
I'm
what?
always-
Yeah, you do.
I'm always like, put the talent out front. Put the talent out front.
He's
He knows it too.
he's
though.
face
He
he's
knows
face
it.
from the 18.
Hey, one of the nicest
my God.
genuine guys you'll ever meet. So
Well, yeah, what does he have to be upset about?
Yeah, life's have pretty good for Graham.
Touche.
He's just whistling down
yeah.
the street. Yeah.
Everybody's so nice to me all the time, especially the really attractive ladies. I don't know what's going on.
Sure, I'll take a raise.
I cannot wait for Graham to listen.
It's a good-looking man. I mean, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
We talk about Graham here every single week, one way or another.
It's just I don't even know the guy.
Girls love him, guys want to be him.
Yeah, it's not a bad
Yeah.
place to be.
This one's for you, Graham.
Just sitting there with his bourbon collection behind him too, like,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
get out of here, dude.
No,
Go sit in
no.
a-
We need to keep him on the squad. God forbid he joins some other charity.
Yeah, but he could like sit in an alley for one of these Zoom meetings, so I don't have to look at his awesome man room while his gorgeous face is in the front of everything.
Could you have worse lighting,
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you like underlight or like
At least just pixelate him.
pixelate it?
Because that's obscene.
Can't look directly at him. Burn your
It's
retinas.
like a Greek god.
Put Adonis in the back.
I think when Graham started doing CrossFit, I was like, oh, perfect.
Great, Graham.
Yeah, you were getting a little fat. I was going to say something.
He does seem like a CrossFit guy. That makes total sense.
He invented it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, they saw what he did, and they go, let's start a cult.
He's like,
what do you do all
he's
day?
sitting around like, I'm not attractive enough. What could I do? I got it now.
Well, those jokes are definitely going to go over for the 200 growers. Outside of that, we got 1,000 people going.
Join so you
"What?"
can meet Graham.
Who is this?
Or at
Graham
least
guy?
see him.
Yeah, there you go.
Can we just put his picture up on the the page for this instead of the beer?
I got his picture right
Behind the
here.
beers.
No. He was the against the grain model. From behind, he's a mess. A mess.
It's like Homer where he pins it all back.
Yeah. That's why he's always walking towards you. He never walks away. He just backs up.
Backs into the bushes.
That's right.
He's the VP, man. He's
Then
the
our
man.
bad. Our bad. Now, look, Mike, thank you so much for coming out, man, and helping promote M4K. This is something that's near and dear to our hearts. And you said, like I said, when you reached out and said you wanted to come on, immediately we dropped everything. We were like, absolutely, because this is a pretty special time of the year. It's a really incredible cause. I've never been part of a charity that was, again, this inclusive, allowed everybody to feel like they were doing something good, but actually then was really doing something good. And if you look at the numbers, I mean, we're growing. We're having an impact here in the Richmond market. And now with M4K USA happening, it appears that this is spreading in a good way. I mean, this is...
I know we touched on it, but I want to reiterate that 100% of your donations go to the charities. There's no skimming. We've all heard about the charities where 50% go, 40, 30, 10 sometimes.
Oh, I promise you, if I ever start a company and it says a proceeds of this sale goes to charity, no doubt it's less than 1%.
Yeah.
If I own the company. Now, I'm saying I don't run this. I'm not part of this. But when I look to raise money for something, I want it to be 100%.
Yeah.
And you don't find that often.
It's very rare.
And we do a good job of making sure that we're finding the charities that are going to do the right thing with the money too, and they're helping kids. Here in
we
the
have a
Richmond
lot
area.
of really great sponsors that make that
For
possible.
sure.
It is an amazing organization. So please, everybody out there, if you haven't had a chance, reach out to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We'll be glad to get you the information. Even if you don't sign up for our team, if you listen to this podcast and we're the conduit that allows you to get in, join the team, don't join the team, but join the organization.
But put my name down.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I got to get that
Get
wolf award.
Get that wolf award.
Thought I had it last year, but
Nah,
I think Graham cut me.
I'm sure he did.
Yep, he probably did.
He brought in the whole.
Did Graham get one?
I don't remember if he did, but he brought in the whole damn CrossFit gym with him.
Graham looked
Okay.
over and said,
Got it.
"Who's this 10? Take him down
That's
a
right.
peg."
Yeah, it took an 11 to beat this 10. I'll give him that.
I'm totally texting Graham when we finish this and be like, you gotta listen to the next episode.
At least the end.
Yeah, hey, tell him to start at 18 minutes. I was doing some like nutscape comments before the 18-minute mark, and I don't want Graham to know that side of me.
I want to stay good in his eyes.
Exactly.
I still got a chance.
Tell him to start at 20 minutes in. It really gets good.
His beautiful eyes.
Well, on that note, go ahead
On the
and-
brown note,
go ahead and send this off into the ether. Mike, again, thank you so much for coming out and promoting M4K. And all you listeners out there, please do reach out if you want to join. It's m4krichmond.org. We would love to have you, and it is a fantastic cause. I'll do this one last time. If you have too much discretionary money, you can always send it to our Venmo account
inside the Pallet House.
because come November, I'm not going to ask you to do that anymore because there's better places to send your money. Got to be honest. If you haven't had a chance to send us a topic, you can do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com, or you can always find us on Facebook, on our podcast page. That's not hard. And then just look up Inside the Pallet House, or you can always find us on Instagram and Twitter at ITPH Podcast. Thank you again so much for tuning in. If you don't want to hear Troy piss and moan, you could just rate and review.
That's all.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking in. What did I say?
I don't know.
See you
Cheers.
It
later,
was
Bob.
not English.
Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?